Hello and welcome to Unlocking the Secrets of Seasonal Gardening Session 2. Know what to plant no matter where you live in this 3-step process. I'm not sure why you showed up today. Maybe you're frustrated that you don't know what to plant in what season. It could be that you're new to gardening. Or maybe you've heard all the buzz and excitement around how others are having success with gardening and you want to make sure you can do that for yourself. Or perhaps you're just bored and you just wanted to hang out with me. I'm really glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about the second part of this 4-part success process. We're going to be talking about what you'll eat and making a plan for that according to temperature. So, the 3 steps to knowing what to plant. The first step we're going to go over is your high and low temperature. The second step is how to create a list of food that you'll love to eat for each of those seasons. And then step number 3 is planning your seasonal food. But first, I want to point your attention to the fact that I have downloads ready for you. And the downloads for session 2 today include what to grow each season and guides to understanding your average temperatures so that you can put the information I'm going to teach you right now down in the knowing your season. So number 1, find your average high temperature. I use something called Melissa lookups to find the average temperature in my area. I also have used usclimatedata.com. I'm going to give you an example of what that looks like in the next slide. But to find your highs and low temperature for your area, you need to go ahead and put in your zip code. But some areas are very obscure and they may not have an accurate average temperature for your area. So you might have to go through some historical records to figure that out. Or if you live in a larger, more populated area, getting that basic information can be very easy. This is an example of one that I just looked up with my own zip code. And you can see on the left-hand side all the months of the year that are circled. Then right next to the months of the year, you can see that I have the high temperatures. These high temperatures tell me how high it will be for each month on average. I know that if my high temperature in January is 57, it will be a specific climate and a specific timing for plants. And I'm going to show you more in just a moment. Finding your low temperature, same thing. You're going to use the same chart and you're going to see the low temperature. Write all of this information down in the calendar that I provided. And this piece of paper is going to be the most valuable piece of gardening paper you have. This information will help you get ready for the next step to actually know when and what to plant. Here you'll notice the low temperatures. So in January, my low temperature for my area, the average is 33 degrees. That's a little below freezing. And my high is 57. If I was to look at that, I could see that my temperature in my area is cool season crops in January. I'm going to explain a little bit more here. Now, this is the fun part, adding the highs and lows from your information into your chart. You're going to place those highs and lows, and then you're actually going to be able to know what season you can grow in for each month. If your average high and lows falls between 35 and 75 degrees, you're going to write cool season. If your average highs and lows fall in between 65 and 85 degrees, that's the warm season. And if your average temperatures are between 85 and higher, that's the hot season. Now, what happens if you live in a climate that has a few months below 35 degrees and it's very cold? You can still keep growing all year by using a plant cloth or plastic to act and insulate like a mini greenhouse. So I just want you to understand that in the next session, I'm going to teach you how to be able to start your fall plants so that they can grow through the winter. Number 3, what do you like to eat? We all like to eat, right? Especially fresh organic food out of a garden. There's just nothing like it. I want you to list your preferences for the different seasons of the things you really enjoy eating or that you're really interested in trying. I teach gardening classes all week long to lots of kids. And one of the first things I do at the first session of every semester is I bring fresh produce in straight out of my garden from that morning. And students will often put their nose up and think, oh, I don't want to eat that green. I don't want to try that bok choy. What is that? I don't want to have the green onions. I have had kids in every single class try the produce and then say, wow, this is delicious. It tastes so good. It's so different than the grocery store. So be willing to try something new and interesting that's a fruit and vegetable in your garden. Evaluate the space and time. Assess how much space you have for each of those plants. And learn to accommodate for what season. Prioritize your list so that based on your space and your time and your taste preferences, you can prioritize the foods you really, really want to grow each season. I just want to bring this up again, that every plant has a preferred season. Every plant grows best in specific times because of the temperature. Each plant is created to be able to thrive in a different season. And if we plant those plants in the wrong seasons, they will not thrive and they will not produce like we really need them to. So I have provided what to plant in each season, and I have it so that it's sectioned off by cool, warm, hot seasons and by large, medium, and small plants. I also have it sectioned off on the plants that are easy to direct sow, or ones that you need to start indoors, or that they can be either. And on this chart, it is very useful and helpful for you to know what you can then grow in each of the different seasons. On the next page, you're going to write for spring, summer, and fall, using the first chart, what are vegetables or fruits that you would like to grow in the spring, summer, and fall. One planting tip is that spring and fall are going to have the same plants that you're going to grow. So gardening absolutely rocks, and it can transform the way you eat and your own health. I believe that if you've been here since session 1, you have what it takes to excel in learning to grow a garden with success. And this is something you can get started with right now. So some of the big benefits of what you just learned in session 2 is you now know how to find your high and low temperatures for each month. You know what foods to grow in each season by the temperature. And you have a chart that will guide you with what to grow all year. So you are building your knowledge and your confidence to grow your own food. I'm really proud of you. So let's go ahead and check out the next session and see the next piece of the puzzle for gardening success. If there is just one thing to take away here today, it's that I have literally cracked the code and hacked what to grow in each season according to the temperatures to show anyone how to grow the right plants at the right time. And it has literally changed my own world and my own garden. And it's helped the gardens of my students and clients. And it's very much a system that you can replicate, that you can apply these very proven systems just like my students and clients have. And you can grow a lot more food doing this and transform yourself into a confident year-round gardener. So let's talk about our action steps for session 2. Nothing I've shared with you here today is theory or fluff. It's exactly what I've done in my own garden to produce lots of food, and it all takes baby steps. Let's take a look at your high and low average of temperatures and go ahead and add those to the chart. The second thing is you're going to write down your favorite things to eat and things you want to grow in the correct season using the guide I gave you. Use all the downloads provided so that this part of your garden planning is successful, and it's going to help you know what to plant and grow all year long. Isn't it exciting?